See? Termites. Remember me? I'm the guy who stole you from Woolworths about 20 years ago. I realize I haven't written in you since I dug up that giant earthworm when I was 12, but that's the breaks. Sue me. Anyway, nothing much is new. I'm still a paper boy. Oh, and I'm having sex now, so that's a big help. The main reason I'm writing you, however, is to tell you about the wonderful, enchanting events that befell me last week. Events that have caused me to forever alter my perception of this crazy, topsy-turvy, buttery thing we call life. It all started about 7 a.m. last Monday.
So, Mom, Dad, what's up for today? Any big plans?
Well, actually, we were thinking of looking through some magazines later on, if we're not too tired.
No, Gladys, that's what we have planned for next week. This is the day the workers arrive to start work on the kitchen.
Workers?
Didn't we tell you? Your father has finally agreed to expand the kitchen by 6 inches. I don't know what I'm going to do with all that extra space.
Workers as in construction workers? As in the guys who wear hard hats and tool belts and have Brill cream in their hair?
That's right.
The kind of guys that use foul language and have wives named Bonnie and, dare I say it, stink?
Yes, I suppose eventually they will stink.
Oh, yes, I'm so excited. When do they get here?
Hold on now, boy. Throw it into reverse. Before your brain explodes, listen up. You're not to talk to them, bother them, or stare at them. If history tells us anything, it's that you have a tendency to drive people nuts.
They're here! They're here! Oh, maybe they'll smoke cigars. Wouldn't that be a bonus? Come in, construction workers. Oh, do come in. Every book and seen every play and movie about construction workers, yet nothing prepared me for the incredible surge of joy and awe I felt when these glorious, mythical creatures walked through that door. The gods had descended from heaven and were now standing in my parents' kitchen. It's been said that all good relationships start with quiet observation. Actually, I made that up just now. Does it sound stupid? Anyway, my initial strategy was simple. Silently stare at them for hours on end until I'm eventually noticed and invited into a conversation. This exact same strategy once worked for me with an ape at the local zoo, so my hopes were high. I soon came to the realization that it might be necessary to change my strategy. It was time for the heavy artillery. You guessed it, questions. When were sinks invented? How much are trucks? Do you believe in God?
Nothing seemed to work. I knew things were desperate when even Mr. Poppy couldn't win them over.
Tell us a joke, Mr. Poppy.
Sure thing, Chrissy. How do porcupines have sex?
Geez, I don't know, Mr. Poppy. How do porcupines have sex?
Carefully. Very carefully.
This was not a good sign. I knew now that something drastic had to be done. If I were to truly become one of them, I knew I would first have to look like them, and eventually, God willing, smell like them. In my heart, I knew this was finally it. The clothes were right. The eclairs and beer had put on a few extra pounds. I was in peak form. They would now embrace me as one of their own. Hi, boys.
What's with the costume, slushhead? You got a date with Dinty Moore?
To this day, I still don't get that joke. Obviously, they found it quite funny, though. All I know is, at that very moment, I felt all was lost. I would never be allowed into the grand, mysterious, wondrous world of guys who use tools. But I was wrong. All that was about to change, thanks to my tendency to get sleepy every so often. And sleepy I was after doing the twist for 3 solid hours for an unreceptive audience. If there's one thing my dear mother taught me, it's to always lay down and go to sleep whenever you're tired, no matter where you are. And except for my arrest at the bus station last year, I found this to be pretty sound advice. Little did I know that an event was about to take place that would forever change my life. And that blessed event can be summed up in 4 sweet, simple words. Dick fell on me.
Jinx! I could have broke my neck. Lucky for me, you're such a fat ass. Oh, you know something, kid? You're okay.
Just like that, it happened. I had been accepted. I was now one of the elite, about to learn all the rules and rituals of a secret society that dates back to the Incas. Without trying to sound overly dramatic or cliched, just let me say, I was happy as a porpoise. The first thing my heroes taught me was an important and essential lesson: how to act crude and obnoxious to the various women who passed through my yard for no apparent reason.
Shake it, honey! Do the wild thing, mama!
Yeah, work that thing, sister. Woo! That's right, you got it. Honey, if you're selling, I'm buying.
Oh, eat that cheese, lady. Uh-huh. Pluck that banjo. Yes, you have very nice-looking shoes, miss.
Down in the valley's so
At night, we'd sit around the campfire and reflect on the day's events and life in general. Invariably, the conversation would drift to the one topic that's never far from a construction worker's mind: tool belt fights.
Hey, guys. Tell me about the tool belt fights again.
Well, what do you want to know, little partner?
Well, everything. Like when did they first begin?
Well, nobody knows when it all first began. Legend has it that the first tool belt fight took place between a couple of fellows working on the Great Pyramids. Seems they got into an argument over a sandwich, and suddenly the tools was flying everywhere. Hammers, screwdrivers, power drills, you name it. In those days, of course, it was always a fight to the death.
My head was swimming with fascinating stories of late trailer payments, one-eyed prostitutes, and of course the fabled tool belt fights. It was almost too much for my young, thirsty brain to comprehend.
Look here, fellas. Ain't that about the cutest thing you ever seen? Our little outlaw's gone off to fairyland.
Must have been all that bourbon I give him.
Let's get him off to bed.
These were the happiest days of my life. I had finally become one of them. I think I was even starting to stink a little. And just when I thought things couldn't get any better, the ultimate happened. I was speechless. The guys were presenting me with my very own tool belt. A real tool belt. If I wasn't so afraid of pain, I surely would have pinched myself. It was the single greatest honor ever bestowed on me, and I quickly purged any thoughts of refusing it due to the construction industry's poor treatment of the American Indian. My life was now consumed with living up to the high standards of excellence that went along with that tool belt. Of course, it wasn't all work. We always found time to socialize, eat chili, and drink beer. At those BS sessions, as Dick called them, the guys were always fond of philosophical conversation.
Do y'all think we've peaked as a civilization?
Has materialism ruined our society?
Ever seen your mom in the bathtub?
It was a wonderful time. I felt happier and more important than the President of Europe. Unknown to me, however, things were about to take an ugly turn.
Morning, fellas.
Hey, come on over here, Butch. I got something to show you. You want in on a little secret? You see this pipe? We get it out of Korea for 9 cents a foot. Got more plastic in it than a showgirl's butt.
I do so love jokes pertaining to Las Vegas.
Here's a real joke. We're charging your old man for copper pipe. You know what that goes for? $90 a foot. Ain't that precious? We're gonna give your old man a bill that'll knock him right out of his shorts.
Wait a second. Huh? Isn't that dishonest?
Hold on a minute there, sport. You ain't getting soft on us now, are you?
I thought you were one of us.
Maybe we ought to take away his tool belt. Maybe he don't got the stomach for it after all.
Oh, now, come on, fellas. Let's not go overboard here. I simply raised a question, and I regretted it as soon as I said it, okay? So, come on, let's forget about it. Come on, let's just water under the tunnel. Now, what do you say we slice up a salami and turn on Oprah?
Despite what I led the guys to believe, I was now horribly troubled. My entire world had collapsed. I felt depressed and suicidal, and more importantly, a little thirsty. I learned a long time ago, when I'm really, really desperate for advice, and I can't find anyone else to talk to, not even a complete stranger, my parents are better than nothing.
Hey, Mom, Dad, I have a problem, and as always, you're my first and only choice for advice.
Lucky us.
What's the matter, sweetheart? Is that drifter who lives behind the gas station still threatening to kill you?
No, he got hit by a car last week. Now, my problem's a little more complicated. Let me give you a hypothetical situation here. Suppose your friend is a rhinoceros, and he's hawking really expensive sugar cubes on the moon. Only you find out that these sugar cubes aren't really made out of sugar at all, but they're made out of a cheap combination of sand and garlic from Korea.
Oh, whoa, hold it right there. Are you saying these moron construction workers are trying to rip me off?
No, Dad. Oh, geez. You're always trying to read some sort of secret meaning in everything I say.
I got no time for this, boy. If you need advice, go bug a priest. Make him work for his 60 grand a year.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Good. I'll blow.
After walking aimlessly for the better part of the day, I was fortunate enough to stumble upon a church just 19 miles from my house.
Okay, well, here's my problem. For now, let's just say that my best friends are rhinoceroses, and they're hawking really expensive sugar cubes on the moon.
Let me guess. Some construction workers are trying to swindle your father?
Exactly. These guys are my friends, Your Honor. They've accepted me into their wonderful, crude, stench-ridden subculture. And that's something I've dreamt about all my life. I can't just throw that away.
As I see it, you have no choice but to confront them and voice your concern about their dishonesty.
But then I'll lose their friendship forever. I'll be an outcast.
Then they weren't your friends in the first place.
Ooh, nice line, Mom.
If there's one thing I hate, it's a confrontation. And this one would no doubt be even uglier than the time I cursed out the mailman for staring at me when I was sunbathing.
Excuse me, fellas, could I have your ear for a second?
Hey, what's up, Cato?
Well, hey, have you guys ever seen me do a somersault? I can do one, you know. Here, watch. There I go. Alley-oop.
You got something on your mind, boy? You're acting a little goofy.
Well, as a matter of fact, Richard, I do have something on my mind. And for once, it's not women completely naked except for cowboy boots. I'm very disappointed with all of you. You guys did a very bad thing by putting in those cheap pipes. And, well, even though it'll probably mean that I can't be one of you and it might hurt our friendship, I'm gonna tell my dad.
You got it all wrong, Tonto. It don't mean you can't be one of us.
It doesn't?
No. It means we're gonna beat the crap out of you.
All right, now, hold on, Dick. I think you're going a little overboard here. You're talking with your heart instead of your head. I mean, your head instead of your heart. I mean, your foot instead of your esophagus. Give me two good reasons why this situation here needs to escalate into violence.
One, you got us in a very bad mood. And two, we've been drinking since 5 o'clock this morning.
Unlike the Three Stooges, I didn't hear a cute little clank sound, and it hurt like hell. I now knew what was about to take place in my parents' kitchen, the legendary, deadly tool belt fight.
2 down, 1 to go.
The moment of truth had arrived. I was about to go toe-to-toe with the ever-powerful, ever-crafty, dreaded Foreman.
Okay, Dickie, come to Papa. Daddy's got a big kiss for you.
I was like a different person. I had more stamina than I ever had in my life. Certainly more than I had on my last date.
Huh? Okay. Huh?
If there's one thing that can quickly end a tool belt fight, it's a staple gun. One little squeeze of the trigger can inflict more pain on a fat gut than a dozen ball-peen hammers.
Good night, Irene. Do me a little favor, huh? When you meet the devil, give him a little peck on the cheek from me.
All right, hold it right there, Dick. This is the last beer in the refrigerator, and I'm prepared to spill it. Yeah. Now put that staple gun down, or else I'll dump this beer all over the linoleum.
Be easy, kid. Take it easy. Don't do nothing stupid.
playing around? I'm nuts, man!
Denise.
You did it! Your kid won the tool belt fight!
Now, there's still a little matter to discuss regarding plastic pipes and how much you're charging my daddy.
Since you did win the tool belt fight, and now you're a king of sorts, we're gonna knock $20 off your dad's bill. Okay. 22. Gee. 22.50, huh? Come on.
When?
It was a moral triumph. I had risen above those I once idolized and managed to save my dad $22.50 to boot. That may not seem like much to the average person, but to a guy who just got hit on the head with a lead pipe, it sounded pretty damn good. That night, we sat under the stars for the last time. The next day, they would be finished with their work and quietly disappear from my life forever. In time, our wounds would heal, but our hearts and minds would transform into shallow trays that caught the bittersweet rainwater of our souls. Incidentally, I'm now offering $1 million reward to anyone who can figure out what the hell that meant. Well, good night, sweet diary. Hopefully I'll write in you again sometime before I'm 80. Have a bitchin' summer. Your pal, Chris.
Praise how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind.